Harris had it all. The 44-year-old Colombian had moved to America in the 1980s and opened her own successful dentistry practice. She had 2 sons with her orthodontist husband, David Harris. They seemed like they were the perfect family, but on July 24th, 2002, Harris fatally ran over her husband with her car. If you like true stories of the macabre, strange, and paranormal, then please click on that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you can be notified every time a new episode of Grim Events is uploaded. Without further ado, I give you the true story of Clara Harris. Clara Harris was born Clara Suarez on February 3, 1958 in Colombia, according to Texas Monthly. She was determined to become a professional dentist. Raised by her widowed mother, she grew into an ambitious adult who studied dentistry in her home country before making her way to the United States in the late 1980s. Harris completed her residency at the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston and was crowned Miss Columbia Houston at a local beauty contest shortly after. She and her future husband met as colleagues at the Castle Dental Center in 1991. David Harris was enamored. The romance blossomed so rapidly that the couple got married on February 14, 1992, less than a year after their first date. David had been married once before and had a daughter named Lindsay, and Harris loved the young girl like her own. Clara Harris's dream of being a successful dentist came true when she opened her own practice in 1993. Her husband later opened Space Center Orthodontics outside of Houston. They had twin sons named Brian and Bradley in 1998. While their marriage seemed perfect from the outside, David Harris had begun having an affair with his receptionist Gail Bridges in the spring of 2002, as reported by CBS News. Harris already knew about the affair when she hired Blue Moon Investigations, a private detective agency, in July of 2002. Her husband had confessed to her on July 17th, and Harris had confronted Bridges at the orthodontics office that same day, telling her that she was fired. The two began working to repair their marriage, and David Harris even told a friend, "We're going to make it." He then informed his wife that he wanted to take Bridges to one last dinner to end things amicably, since he had led his receptionist to believe he was in an open marriage. Harris agreed, but she secretly hired a private investigator to follow them to dinner and ensure her husband ended the relationship. Hold up, I'm so sorry. If I found out my husband was screwing his receptionist, there is no way in hell he is going to go have dinner with the bitch again. But that's just me. Well, on the evening of July 24th, 2002, Harris received a devastating call from the investigator. Her husband and Bridges were not talking at the restaurant, but were together at Nassau Bay Hilton, the same hotel where David and Clara Harris had been married 10 years earlier. While David Harris's daughter Lindsay spent the school year in Ohio with her mother, the teenager lived in Houston with her dad and stepmom over the summers. Lindsay was with Harris when she sped off in the direction of the hotel on July 24th to confront her husband. Harris found her husband and Bridges in the hotel lobby. "You bitch, he's my husband," Harris shouted before slapping Bridges. Then she pointed to her husband. "This is Dr. David Harris, and he's effing this woman right here." Lindsay started hitting her father while shouting, "I hate you." Harris ripped the shirt off Bridges. Then David reportedly pushed Harris to the floor. He then escorted Bridges to her Lincoln Navigator while hotel staff took Harris outside. She and Lindsay got into Harris's silver S-Class 430 Mercedes-Benz and waited. A symbol of her American success story, the luxury car soon became a murder weapon. According to the Los Angeles Times, Lindsay later testified that Harris said, "I'm gonna hit him," as they sat in the car and waited for David to appear. When he walked outside, his wife did precisely that, sending him flying 25 feet across the parking lot. Witnesses recalled Lindsay screaming and trying to get out of the car, but Harris sped off to run over her husband. She turned the car around to run him over a second time, then made a final 180-degree turn to hit him once more. Witnesses recalled seeing Lindsay punch Harris in the face before both of them exited the vehicle. Lindsay was already crying when she reached her dying father, and Harris soon joined in. She then cradled her husband and told him she was sorry and that she loved him, according to the New York Times. The 44-year-old orthodontist was tragically gone. He was pronounced dead at 9:48 p.m., and Clara Harris was charged with murder. The story of an angry dentist killing her husband spread like wildfire. A dozen photojournalists flocked to the Harris' first court appearance. Her sons were placed in the care of family, friends, and her stepdaughter Lindsay testified against her at the trial that began in January of 2003. The investigators Harris had hired happened to record the entire ordeal on video, which was entered into evidence. Since it only showed Harris circling the parking lot, and since David was barely visible, the defense argued she only hit him once. A police officer who witnessed the crime testified that she ran him over 3 times, however. Lindsay, meanwhile, testified that Harris made the shocking statement 1 week before David was killed, as reported by ABC News. "With all he's done to me, I could kill him and get away with it," Harris had allegedly stated. Harris's defense attorney, George Parnham, urged her not to take the stand for fear that she would incriminate herself. She testified anyways, and Parnham subsequently passed out from the tremendous stress in the courthouse hallway and had to be hospitalized. After a 3-week trial, Clara Harris was found guilty on February 14, 2003. Jurors deemed hers a crime of sudden passion, and she was sentenced to 20 years in prison and a $10,000 fine, the maximum allowed for murder under such circumstances. Harris's sons visited her at the Mountain View Unit Prison in Gainesville, Texas, every month. Her parole requests in April 2013 and September 2016 were denied, but her third request was boosted when her sons argued that they had now lost their mother as well as their father. Granted parole in November 2017, Harris was released from prison at 8:20 a.m. on May 11, 2018. Under the conditions of her parole, she has to wear a monitoring bracelet, take regular drug tests and alcohol tests, be gainfully employed, and reside in Galveston County. In an interview with Oprah before her release, Harris said, "I want to be judged by what really happened, not by speculations people have made. I found myself in a situation that I never thought myself capable of." Well, there you have it, folks. The true story of Clara Harris and how she murdered her cheating husband with her car. So let me know what you think. Do you think the punishment fit the crime? Did she get away too easily? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.